Hey! Happy voting day, everybody! Well, for some of you at least, Chris and Latterell here, along with Corrigan Vaughn, bringing you episode 103 of the Electric Fan Cave on electricfeast.com. Today, we're going to gush over what was probably the best carpool karaoke yet, A Spark of Hope for Pacific Rim 2, Jeff Goldblum speaking out on Thor 3, and some Banana Pants trailers that we are unsure how to process. So, settle in, adjust your I voted sticker, and get ready for some awesome banter. What?
Happy voting day, Historia.
Oh, happy voting day to you, Votron.
It was exciting. You know, when I went to the precinct today, normally every year when I go, there is nobody there, but there were like at least people actively voting, and there was a line of like 5 people to get in. So
that's exciting. Yeah, mine didn't have anybody. There was one guy ahead of me. And then one guy wandered in and was like lost, like didn't know what was going on. It was very
like,
strange.
do you want to vote while you're here?
Yeah, and that's what they asked him, and he was like, I guess. And I was like, oh gosh. Me on the other hand, I'm like, so you know, like you check your name and address and stuff, and then you go over to the other table where they kind of print your little ticket that you take your code over. So whatever. I'm standing in front of that guy, and there's 2 guys. There's like the guy that's going to give you my sticker at the end. And I'm like sitting there all like super excited. And the other guy's like, you look very excited to be here. And I was like, I am. I love voting. I was like, I already, and then I like whipped my practice ballot out. I'm like, I already filled out my practice ballot. And like held it up, and he was like, oh, that's so great. And I think he's the most endearing child. And he also probably thought I was like 18 and was my first election
like,
or something.
This is my first time. Like, no, This is like, what, our 4th or something like that? We've been doing this for a while.
It is my 4th. Oh. No, I vote. Yeah. Oh, God. Damn. Yeah.
I don't know. We've been doing this a while.
1, 2. It is my 4th. Well, presidential, I guess, if we're going to split hairs.
Yes.
So.
Obviously, yeah. If we go past that, it's more.
I'm not going to, I don't know what it is. But anyway, and then I was very excited. And so then I like came, and then so I was in there really fast because I'd already done marked all my answers, like it's a test. I had already marked all my candidates.
100%.
Nailed it. And so then I like walk over to him, and I'm like, all right, I'm all done. And he's like, hands me my sticker, and he goes, wear it with pride. And I was like, will do. You guys have a great day. I said to like all of the voting people, and they were like, okay, crazy.
It's America.
Yeah. God bless us, everyone. I love it. Flower petals, you know, as I like walked out. I should have pressed play, and like America the Beautiful should have started playing from my pocket.
Hail to the chief, you know, something.
Next time.
Yeah.
I'll do that. But
oh my God. In November.
In November.
This is nice. What a beautiful time. We get to vote twice in 1 year.
Oh my gosh.
It's a very exciting time to be alive.
Yes, it is very exciting. So,
which reminds me, so I know that you haven't listened to Hamilton yet.
I'm almost done with it. I'm at Hurricane.
Okay, excellent. Good.
The hard thing is, it's hard to listen to it at work because I want to like listen to it.
Right,
and
so I have to get it.
Yeah, so I have to like find times when I'm like at home, like doing laundry or doing something where I can just like, it's almost like a podcast. You kind of want to listen, at least the first time around, really listen to it. So
yeah, because they're legitimately giving you information.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm like trying to listen. So today I was trying to for a little bit because I was like all hyped up on like, you know, America. And then I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I kept writing this email, and I'd look at it, and it would be like Alexander Hamilton. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta rewind and start it, you know. And it's just like, how did this bastard son of? I'm like, oh gosh, you can't put bastard in this email. That's terrible.
Like, oh no.
And I'm like, and I bring back guns. I'm like, I don't bring guns. That's not what's happening. I'm sorry. I am very confused.
We're outgunned, outmanned. Anyways, my point was, actually I have 2 things on that note. If I forget where I was going with my thought. But the first thing that I was actually going to say was I was watching Donald Trump's speech accepting the nomination or whatever the heck it was that he was doing tonight, and watching Twitter at the same time, because that's really the purpose of sitting through any Donald Trump speech, is to see what people say in reaction to it. So there's this weird moment in the speech where someone in the audience yells out, no TPP, but he hears it wrong. He thinks they say PPP. And so he's like, that's right, no PPP. And then he goes, no PP. And it was like, a pee-pee joke on here? And so my favorite thing that someone said on Twitter was that someone said, like, Donald Trump just made a pee-pee joke on stage, and the person retweeted it and responded, look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now. Like, best use of Hamilton reference.
Or worst use of Hamilton. Yeah, right.
Or worst use.
Yeah, depending on how. But that should take us into our first sort of story here tonight.
So you already interrupted before I got a chance to finish the thing I told you to remind me to say.
Oh, I thought that was the story. I forgot already what you asked me to remind you of.
What a team. What a team.
I'm sorry. As you said it, I'm like, I'm not going to remember because I'm already invested in the story. So
yeah, I know the story's good.
Oh, wait, I know. Zoo. I said zoo. You said zoo.
Zoo. The other thing that I wanted to mention on that note, and this can lead us into our first story, was that the Chicago Zoo got a new camel, or a new camel was birthed. Somehow they have obtained a camel that they did not previously have. And they named this.
Okay, go. I think I'm.
Guess. You want to guess what it's named?
Is it Camilton?
Yeah, Hamilton.
Oh my! That is the best thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Isn't that incredible? I read it and I guffawed.
Yeah. Nicely done, Chicago Zoo.
Well played. At a time that zoos need a little good press. Good job, Alexander Hamilton and the gang at Chicago Zoo.
That's amazing.
The story.
The
Kristen,
story.
On
the
that
story. Note. You guys, we've talked about it before, and I know we gush because James Corden is just the most endearing guy ever. But he's been, if you have it and you've been living in some kind of hole, he does this segment called carpool karaoke, in which he usually gets one or more celebrities in his car and they drive around under the pretense of actually going somewhere. But in reality, he sort of interviews them / they sing songs together, and it's magical and wonderful. And so his latest edition is kind of a Tony's edition because he's hosting the Tonys this week. So he's in New York.
I'm so excited about.
So excited about. And he is just, his excitement level hovers around our excitement level on things. And so
just perpetual 11.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty phenomenal. So he did a Broadway edition of Carpool Karaoke in New York, where he started out, it was just him and Lin-Manuel Miranda dropping some Hamilton tunes. And before we get into who else showed up in the car, the thing that I've decided, I just love Lin-Manuel Miranda, and I can't even really pinpoint it's something about his eyes, and this is going to sound creepy and weird, but there's something about his eyes.
That's new for us.
Right, I know. Getting super weird and reading into things, we don't do that. Yeah. But there's just something about them. They've got this soul and light to them, and I just love his face. Literally his face. I say that to people oh, I love your face. And I actually just love you as a person, but I actually physically love his face.
Your face.
His face is just this beautiful thing to me, and I love it. And I love his smile, and I love how animated he is. And it's
this came up when I watched this carpool karaoke last night. You know how Facebook does the related videos or other things people watched or whatever underneath. What came up was at his wedding, he surprised his wife with this fully choreographed song for the wedding song, L'chaim, to life, from Fiddler on the Roof, with full choreography, all of his bridesmaids and groomsmen and everybody doing it. He's singing it. He has her father and his father singing in it.
Stop it.
Oh, you will watch it and you will sob because it's so great. But his face, it's just legitimately, you look at his face and you're everything about you says I am a great human.
Yes, right? It's it just emanates joy and a love for life and a love for great things and music, and I love it. I just love his face, and so I was so excited, and it was great because he's
so excited on court. He's like I'm singing with James Corden.
Yeah, it's he's made it. And I'm oh gosh, please stop it. As if you haven't, as if anybody doesn't, everybody and their mother wants you for everything. But, and then what was really great is, and I don't know why I forget about this about him, that James Corden, is originally a stage Broadway musical person, right?
Yeah.
So for some reason, every time he opens his mouth to sing, I'm like, I forget. I don't know why I do that. You are actually a really good singer.
Yeah. And so he nails it.
And he nails
and
it.
He like really does like what he does great is he does Daveed Diggs's parts from Hamilton. Yeah.
Which is hard.
Sorry.
They are hard.
Yeah.
And I love it too because Lin-Manuel Miranda lets him go and like do the whole thing, and then at the end he's like, "Oh, dude, like you nailed it." He nailed it, and it was so great. Anyway, so we'll move on. But then into the back seat come Audra McDonald and Jessie L. Ferguson and Jane Krakowski.
Yep.
Krakowski. And they slide into the back seat, and then it just is like a nerd out of Broadway. And with a great, they go to press the 2 bars play, 2 bars of Rent's
Seasons of Love.
Thank you. Like 300.
Having trouble with song names right now.
And the whole car goes, oh, and then they just absolutely kill it, and it's beautiful.
Right.
And I forget the middle song they did. It was
they did Build Me Up Buttercup, right?
Or that's what they did. Build Me Up Buttercup, which I feel like Lin-Manuel did.
Buttercup. It was something that was like Motown-y,
kind
like
of oldie song, probably from Jersey Boys or something, I guess, maybe.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. That could be why they did it. Because I was like, oh, that was a random pick. But
right.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably Jersey Boys.
So I think it was Jersey Boys. And then they, which I feel like Lin-Manuel didn't super know the words because sometimes
he was just trying.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. But then the grand finale of Les Mis, and then like the last note that Audra McDonald just like nails it, and you see them all go like, oh, and you're like,
you realize Audra McDonald is in this car.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's magical. And just you should watch it multiple times so that you can try and watch everybody's face, because I spent the first whole one just watching Lin-Manuel, and then I kept trying to look at James Corden because he's also like giddy in there, and then anyway, so it's just a delightful video. So if today's elections don't go the way that you want, then watch this video. It'll make your heart just happy.
Earlier in the day, my sister and I have been planning to go see a Broadway show next week for a while, but the thing is, the Tonys are Sunday, so of course everything has like sold out for the next week. It's like everybody wants to go, and so we ended up. The funny thing was that then we discovered, I was like, oh well, what's up at the MCC Theater, which is where I saw Small Engine Repair, and funny enough, a play starring my high school classmate Beth Bears is up at the MCC.
From Girls, huh? Right?
Yeah. So I was like, Ed, you want to go see that instead? She's like, okay, that's fine. But what we were originally going to go see was Shuffle Along, and like next week or the week after is Audra McDonald's last. And so I was like, seeing her in this car while watching it, I was like, that's regrets. But it was just so expensive to get tickets to it. I was like, a little thrifty. I don't have a job in the summer, so I should probably be careful about it. But watching that, I was really just like, I love musicals. I love Broadway. I love theater culture. I love New York. Everything about it is just so delightful. So if you need to pick me up, if you just want to see people be extremely happy, this is the video you need to watch. This is this week's Chewbacca lady.
Oh my gosh, it really is. It'll just put a smile on your face, as only that car full of people, random car full of people could do.
Exactly. Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to be on the cover of Rolling Stone in a week.
He's just so cool. I just love him. And I know we already talked about his Mary Poppins deal, but I'm like already excited for it, and I know nothing about it.
Yeah. I'm just so glad now that you've like listened most of the way through Hamilton and can
long. It's very long, you guys.
Super long.
Honestly, like halfway through the first, I was listening to it on Spotify just because I'm like, I should listen to it first before buying it. Like halfway through I was a little bit, probably on like the third song, I'm like, I'm going to buy this. I should just buy it because then I can avoid commercials. But I was like, I'll listen to it first. What if it gets worse? I don't know why I thought that.
No, it doesn't get worse. It gets more cryier.
Yeah. So
but it stays amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So,
I'm glad.
Anyway, it's magical. So you guys should check it out. In other kind of musical news, I think I don't know if we have talked about it. Or if you at least watched this before, you know that we are very excited about anything that's a live performance of a musical on TV, because they're usually
terrible,
super terrible. And so they're doing Hairspray this winter, and so we're very excited. So we already kind of said that what's her name, Jennifer Hudson is going to be oh
my god,
Queen Latifah's character.
Yeah, Queen Latifah was Motormouth Maybell.
Yep. And then the guy who originally played Mrs. Turnblad on Broadway is going to be playing her in this one. And today we got to see this really adorable video Hairspray Live Facebook page posted. They had done like open casting calls, which I think is, now that I think about it, isn't that what Hairspray does? Is they always cast because I remember Nikki Blonsky was nobody.
Yeah.
So
she's definitely nobody.
Open casting call for the role of Tracy Turnblad. And they show this video of this girl kind of doing they show her a little bit, and they don't give you too much of her background, but of her finding out that she gets the part, and she is like reading the
scene. And it's so cute the way they do it. They bring in like, can you, it's like her last callback or whatever, and they're like, hey, we've got this new scene we want you to run. And so she's like, sure, she's all bubbly about it. She opens up the thing and she's like, the role of Tracy Turnblad in NBC's, production of Hairspray will be played by... And she sees her name, and she was like,
Maddie Bynum, and she's like, oh my gosh, and she's just so excited. And
yeah, it's magical. She calls her mom. You get to see her call her mom. It's so great. I'm stoked on this. Great. I think we probably have talked about Hairspray before, but when the movie came out, I watched it 6 times in the movie theater. I have seen it on stage at SCUFTA. I own multiple copies of the DVD, and my iPod had a sticker of Corny Collins on it for years, as long as technically, I guess it still does. I just haven't seen my iPod. But I did to see this, and she seems like a delight. And so, I feel like these musicals are mostly getting better.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
I tried to watch Grease live, and I was struggling.
Okay, how far did you get though? Because the beginning is awful.
The slumber party that they have.
I'm not sure when exactly it gets good, but it's like the first part of it is just hard to watch. It's hard to watch. It's hard to get past the fact that Aaron Tveit is like 15 years too old.
Yeah,
for the role.
Both of them are though, so I don't know. It's
just a dry piece of toast. She's not worth watching in anything, but it does get like Vanessa Hudgens ends up being amazing in it though. And did you get to see the part with Boys to Men?
Well, no, only the very beginning when they were singing, when they do like the opening song, and they're sitting on the like a front stoop, and whoever that blonde lady is that's singing, I don't even know who she is. She's probably famous. She is anyway.
It's been a while since I watched it.
Yeah. Anyway, so I saw them there, and then I remembered that they were even in it because I'd forgotten, and I was like, oh yeah. But then I never got to it was just I was like, Keke Palmer was great, and I liked Vanessa Hudgens, but I feel like nobody was giving her anything to work with. So like she delivered her lines, which I think with like great like Rizzo, like whatever, like I'm cooler than you, like that whole thing. But I just feel
giving
like
it back.
Nobody was like really helping her along. So I don't know. So maybe I'll try it again, but I was like, oh, this is kind of painful. So I didn't.
This is, as we tend to do, we were live Facebooking it, me and our friends, the Fuenti, and talking about it. And the beginning of our live book is just brutal. We're just mocking the entire thing. And then partway through, we're like, we actually like this. Maybe it's Stockholm syndrome or something, but I think I actually like this thing. And then I bought it. I full on bought.
and now it's on Netflix.
And now it's on Netflix, of course. But The Wiz isn't, right? Because I bought that too. The Wiz,
The Wiz is not. Yeah, I liked that one. I did like The Wiz. Yeah.
So. This was great. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I'm excited about this gal.
We'll see. Yeah, and then actually I forgot. Moving on, so kind of an abrupt move on. We'll go into some movie news. A little bit of movie news here. So fun fact, you guys. I know every week it feels like we talk about Bond rumors, and every week there's more news about more Bond rumors, but we've got a legitimate lead this time. We think.
Are we even allowed to talk about this yet?
No, we are. We're allowed to. I talked to Barbara. She said it was fine.
Good. She can just be like kind of a hard ass sometimes.
I know, but I said, I'm like, we really got it. I mean, just let us get it out there. So then that way you can do that thing where you dangle it and see if people
just like shut it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just shut it down.
So some exciting.
Because like Theo James was the rumor last week. And it's like, I was sitting here like, okay.
It's like, this isn't real. But you guys, we have been sitting down with Barbara Broccoli to star in the new Bond movie. What? Me and Corey are going to be twin sisters, which sounds weird, but it's going to be the best because we're going to be both the first female American twin Bonds, Juliet and Judith Bond. And we're very excited. We're hoping that the deal still goes through as we talk about it. I mean, I know I watch enough spy movies. Corey's going to be the clueless one of the two of us. But
it's a little bit of a like buddy spy thing. It's really changing the dynamic of the Bond franchise in a way that I think is going to really be positive for people. I mean, like it's female friendship, it's sisterhood, it's, but like women being badass. Right. To the direction the franchise was always going to go.
Yeah. It was always been, last one was just so serious and so boring. So I think this one's going to have a little bit more humor in it, but still a lot of the cool gadgets and kick-assery that you expect from a Bond, but with your two favorite podcasters. So you're welcome.
Yeah, it's revolutionary, but you guys, we need your support. We want to see you, out and about on the social media, tweeting about it and just really, and when the trailer hits, I think you're going to be excited, just like that stuff. We don't need a Ghostbusters situation here.
Yeah, we don't.
Twin Bonds.
Twin Bonds, you guys. That's exciting. So we are very exciting, but almost on the same level of excitement as being the new Bond girls, which I also like because we're turning Bond girls on its head by being the actual spy people and not just
literal Bond girls.
They haven't let us pick who our Bond boys are going to be. We're each going to get one, but we're involved in that casting process. So, I mean, I'm pushing for Michael B. Jordan to be my Bond boy. But I don't know who Corey. I think Corey should go for an older gentleman. I think Corey should go.
And not going for an older gentleman. Yeah. Let's be real.
I generally think like Carl Urban or something, or Jeff Goldblum should be yours, where it's like.
Definitely Goldblum. It's not even a question.
It'd be so great.
See him like coming out of a pool or something, or like just like lying in bed painted gold.
Oh my god.
Little shorts, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. You're welcome for how awesome the next Bond movie is going to be.
Yeah. So, cheers. Well, actually, speaking of Jeff, let's go there instead. Another funny, and remember we talked about this. Our hearts and heads almost exploded from excitement when talking about the new Thor movie. Jeff Goldblum has kind of broken his silent, not like he was silent about it, but just hadn't really released a statement. And this week he was talking a little bit about his character and what he's doing to prepare, which is cool.
I know.
So remind me more who he's playing.
He is playing this character called the Grand Master. And his description of the Grand Master is as a hedonist, a pleasure seeker, an enjoyer of life and tastes and smells. I thought I can do that, I'll bet. I'm working on my part every day. I'm a sponge researching. And you can all imagine him saying this in his way. This I love because he says, Director Taika Waititi is encouraging me to improvise and make it my own, and that's what I'm trying to do. Because I hope he doesn't throw me out on the first day.
Yeah, right.
But I am about this character and Jeff Goldblum and this hedonist character and how wonderful he's going to be in this role. I also just got excited at him like referencing Taika Waititi in this interview because I love that man. And I don't think people realize how lucky we are acting this movie. Like, I'm just so excited. After I saw What We Do in the Shadows, I was just like, followed him on Facebook like while I was watching the movie and have like since gone back and enjoyed things that he's done and everything. And also I'm hoping that his directing this means that we're going to get a Reese Darby cameo somewhere in it because
I don't know who that is.
Did you watch Flight of the Conchords at all?
Like a couple of episodes. Oh, is it the girl?
No, he's manager Murray. Um,
Don't remember.
and you didn't watch the new X-Files, right?
No, because I didn't watch the old X-Files. I know, I'm super boring. Sorry.
I know there are things that you have to have seen him in. He's like the only Kiwi you ever see in anything, really.
Except for
Because
Carl.
he was in Yes Man.
Hmm.
You should just Google his name, Reese Darby, and you're gonna.
Okay. All right, I'll look him up.
It's delightful. So I'm hoping because he and Taika Waititi are bros in it. But yeah, Jeff Goldblum, his character.
It's gonna be great. So great.
I'm stoked on it. I've never been like stoked on a Thor movie. You know, like at best I'm like, it's okay.
I was stoked on the first one.
I didn't super like it. Like I said when Amy was here,
Yeah.
I liked the second one better than I liked the first one. At this time, I'm like legitimately
Yeah.
that whole buddy road trip vibe, and you know, Keo and I were talking about this yesterday. That Marvel has like figured out their movies and what works and things like that. We're kind of comparing with DC and whatnot, but that like they realize like we can't really do like a Hulk movie. People hate those, so let's make.
Yeah, because everyone loves Thor.
Yeah, everyone loves Thor. Everyone loves Hulk. They just don't want to see him do his own movie. And thus they've come up with this other way of doing it. By the way, that reminds me too, this whole conversation came up because it was my final class session with my Magic Lantern class. And the guy who runs the theater that we help with, he was reading his like list of screenings for fall quarter. And he read Suicide Squad off of the list, and everyone went crazy. They were so excited about it. And I was like, really? Huh. Okay. Right. So, and you know what? The most recent trailer that I saw, I think before X-Men, I was like, it's almost there. See this meaning.
Yeah.
I'm still skeptical, but I was surprised to find that their enthusiasm was that high.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm trying, it's hard because I've already been so like about it. So I'm trying to like remain like pumped, like, okay, it could still be good. Like sometimes trailers just do a crap job of cutting, like, you know, like still go in like with an open mind and trying to be stoked about it, because really like DC is just trying to set up their kind of cinematic universe sort of deal, and they don't really know what they're doing yet, and we don't really know because all we have is Batman versus Superman really to go on at this point. So so we'll see. Like we said, you know, we'll see how it goes, and we will.
I mean, that's been our thing the entire time is that it hasn't looked great, but we're open to loving it, and we're clearly going to see it.
Yeah, obviously. So
yeah. It was interesting, like, to have my students be so excited about it. I'm like, they're seeing something I'm not here, so okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and people I've talked to lately have all been very excited. So I'm like, maybe I'm just being lame, and I should just go see it and stop hating on it. So, anyway.
But then what would we talk about on our podcast?
I know, right? I'm like, golly. I know what we would talk about, because this is what we would talk about. So sort of on the same thread, not really, but because it's like 6 degrees here, because Idris Elba is in Thor and was also in this movie, you guys. So I follow John Boyega on Instagram and Twitter and everything that I am on, which is 3 things, because he's the world's most endearing human, aside from James Corden, who I've already said is the world's most, and obviously Jeff Goldblum, and pretty much everybody that we love.
There's a lot.
Anyway, the point is this.
We have a type, and it's endearing.
It's endearing, and usually British. So, actually, now that I think about it. So John Boyega has started his own production company, and so he's gotten on board to really push Pacific Rim 2 into the real world. So I don't actually remember if we talked about it. When the first one came out, I super enjoyed it. I love Charlie Hunnam. I love Idris Elba. It was a fun movie of monsters fighting giant robots. It was really great. Pacific Rim 2 has been kind of stalled out in limbo, and nothing's really been happening. But we found today that not only is he going to be helping in the production of it and producing it, but he's going to star in it, which is so exciting. He's going to be headlining Pacific Rim 2, which I am like beyond stoked about.
It's so perfect.
So the article, so I just saw him like kind of posting something on Insta, and I tagged Corey and then our friend Tom, who loved Pacific Rim and has been kind of like, he's the one that's been like posting stuff like, maybe it's coming. Oh, here it's coming. And so I tagged him in it, and then he found the story that I forget. We'll link to it though on the blog. Yeah. Screen Rant, and Screen Rant was seeing how looks like he's possibly going to be playing Idris Elba's son, which is interesting. So if you remember, maybe I won't talk about.
You can spoil Pacific Rim. If not, close your ears for 30 seconds.
Okay, so Idris Elba dies in the first one. And so he won't be in this one, but hopefully flashbacks. That's what I'm really hoping is flashbacks. That's what I really want.
I know. More Idris, please.
More Idris. And so then they're saying they're not sure kind of what route it's going to go. If even Charlie Hunnam isn't even really attached to it. So if he's going to even be back, or if it's going to be a brand new cast of characters. Either way, I feel like it's going to be, I'm just so pumped because I feel like his energy and just him as a person is really going to bring a fun edge to it. And I've already said, like, we were so sad when we found out he wasn't actually going to be in Black Panther. So this was a really good, I'm still not over it, but this is a good pick-me-up because I'm like, okay, because I'm super excited about Pacific Rim 2. So the fact that he's going to be in it and have a hand in actually making it.
Right.
We're so stoked. So this was good news coming off of our really depressing news of him not being in Black Panther. But John Boyega is just a delight, you guys.
John Boyega in all the things.
In all of the things.
So great. It was great, his announcement of it and all that, and I just, with Pacific Rim, the first time I saw it I didn't love it, but now every time I watch it I'm like, yeah, I really enjoy this movie, so I feel like I can go for more of it and really a whole new cast of characters, and that'd be fine because you have a whole world of people who are affected by the kaiju problem. And so the last one was an Asian episode in this issue or whatever, but you could go anywhere and have anyone dealing with it and fine to be interesting. So totally. I feel like whatever they do with it,
it's gonna be awesome.
And it's just one of the great things too about it's such like you need to see it the first time on the big screen, and it still holds up on the small screen, but I just see that with the effects in it and everything. We've talked about CGI and the problems with CGI and the fact that a lot of times like it doesn't look real enough, but you're convinced by the CGI in Pacific Rim and the sheer scale. The Jaegers, is that what they call them? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Jaegers in that is just unreal, and you just find yourself like lost in it, just like how enormous these things have to be.
It's just everything is so big. Everything
so big.
The
scale is incredible. And so it's so like, to be in a movie and feel so small, I think really helps you to lose yourself in it.
Right.
And that's always kind of what you want, especially in like an action sci-fi type movie, is to be able to like lose yourself in that movie. It's not something
the moment you want it, you never want to let it go. Oh, you only get one shot.
That one's coming.
I'm excited for like 7 weeks when Jerry actually catches up to this episode, when this happens for him. You're welcome, Jerry.
It took me a second to realize I was thinking Jerry with a J and not a G.
Oh, no, yeah. But Jerry Morales when he shows up.
So that's news items of the week. Obviously, we've had a few favorite things, which is nice.
So many. It's been a good week. And then last in kind of our movie news, just to kind of cap it off. I mean, I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so when we talked about this previously. Remember, there was the big discussion of we were talking about Captain America. Initially, we were just talking about Captain America boyfriend, but then we went into his romance with Sharon Carter, and how I said it.
I said I liked, and
I was not into.
And Amy were not into.
We're not into. But today, Peggy Carter herself has spoken on this issue. Haley Atwell, in an interview, said that Peggy would turn in her grave if she knew this would happen, and essentially turn herself into a villain to come back and be like ground Sharon and to kick Steve's ass. which I love.
Yeah.
And so she was just like, it was right after Peggy's funeral. Like, how disrespectful is that? She's like, you can't tap that. You can't tap that. Like, the fact that even you're saying tap that is in itself incredible.
It's amazing.
And so she was also not a fan of that relationship. And so,
and if Peggy says no, I say no. So I stand corrected.
Yeah.
You know, I have to give it up. If she's not okay with it,
it means it's wrong, you guys. Yeah.
Bo. Say a funny thing on that this reminded me of was another Civil War related news article that came out today. An interviewer for, I can't remember what it was, but he was interviewing Dominic Cooper, who apparently has not seen Civil War. And so he asked the interviewer to spoil it for him. So he like tells him what happens to Howard Stark in this. And he's just like, what? And he's like, well, who kills him? Bucky does. Bucky? Howard Stark? And it's so great. Like you have to read this. Just like, it's just so charming, you know, like he hasn't got a chance to go out and see this thing. And like this guy ruins it for him. And his reaction is just stunned because he does know enough about like the franchise, even though it's not like a thing that he clearly watches regularly or anything like that. But so he's like, whoa, so this and this and this. And he's like trying to like reason out what happened and stuff like that. It's just,
I just love him because he's one of those people, he plays such different characters. Whereas, like, I feel like him being, and I haven't even watched Preacher simply for the fact where I don't think my heart can physically handle whatever's happening in it. Because I watched the trailer and I'm like, I can't breathe. I feel like I can't breathe right now. It's so bonkers. And then, so he plays these like characters that are like so crazy. But then when he played Howard Stark on Agent Carter, it was the best thing ever in the history of time. And I had like, when he's not in it for a while, I'm like, is Howard coming back? Because it's lame without him.
I kind of miss him.
I miss him. And so it's so great to hear that because I'm like, oh, he's another one of those people where I love him, but then I'm like, also I'm kind of scared of you.
Yeah, like he also did that Devil's Double or whatever it was called.
I know you were very upset about that. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So although in Preacher, he's still like, despite being like, you know, this totally violent, crazy person, he's also very charming.
Yeah.
You're just like, huh.
Well, and then remember he was in Mamma Mia and is just so lovely. It's so lovely. And he's like my favorite person in Mamma Mia. I just love him. I'm like, why he should be in it more. Less Pierce Brosnan, more Dominic Cooper, please. Yeah.
Less of all these old men who can't sing, and more of
Dominic guy who is clearly the best person in this whole film.
I would.
So, oh gosh, I just think he's swell. To coin a.
Well,
if we're talking to Captain America here, he's just swell. So anyway.
Yeah. So that was a delightful thing. Both of those made me happy today.
Yeah.
And yeah, I officially switched my ship, my OTP, because I can't disagree with Peggy.
I can't believe that was even going to be your new OTP. Obviously,
no, okay.
it was
more like
your
OTP. It was just like.
Let's get real here.
It was like I'm not.
It's like, okay, you clearly
I'm not
have to
against
move on. So
I was like, that's fine. She's there. They've cultivated a thing. It's cool. And I had become attached from like the movie before we knew.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's fine. We'll carry it on. But now, okay, they can find someone else.
Yeah.
Because Peggy says no, and you have to adhere to that.
Yeah. It's like what she says in it's like what she says actually.
It's like, no, you move.
Of Agent Carter it's an Agent Carter.
Oh, I thought you were going to say when you can compromise, you can't. But
no,
go ahead.
In the first season, it's when it's with Neil McDonald's character, Dougie, or not Dougie.
Or Duggan, Dum Duggan.
Dum, and he goes, and they're taking fire from these Russian soldiers, and they're trying to get out. And he's like, "Hey, Peggy, go!" And she's like, "No, you go." And he says to her, "What would Cap say if I left his best girl behind?" And she goes, "He would say, do as Peggy says." And I'm like, "Yeah, he would."
Yes, he would.
Gosh, I love her so much.
Show comes back.
I really hope it does, you guys. 2 was not enough. I need more.
More, please.
More, please. More, please. I want to be like, what's her face in Parks and Rec. Can I have some money? More, please. More money, please.
What was
that was my
her
Jenny
name?
Slate character, which was weird, but I was trying to be.
I got it. I got what it was. Yeah.
It was bad. Don't acknowledge it. It was not my best. Let's move on. Anyway, you guys, there were some weird, other than the Ghostbusters International trailer, which had some kind of fun little new shots in it. We found some very, very strange trailers on the internet this week.
Yeah.
Which
should we address first?
I guess we should start with the weird ones or end with the weird. I mean, let's start with the normal one. We should end with the weird ones because they're just so ridiculous.
Okay.
So let's start with Marauders because that's kind of a weird one only because I haven't heard of it ever.
Yeah.
So
when I watched this trailer, I was like, I'm going to need Kristen to explain it to me.
Oh, great. I can maybe explain something. Yeah. I feel like what's happening here is it's similar to what was that movie that just came out with George Clooney and Jack O'Connell?
Money Monster?
Yeah, I feel like it's similar to that. So there's something So the premise of this is it's Bruce Willis plays a very owner of some big bank who before the movie takes place, his younger brother had been kidnapped. It went wrong, and the brother apparently has died. So now what's happening is this guy's banks are being robbed again. Christopher Maloney comes in as a cop or FBI agent along with...
to imagine that he's Elliot Stabler just like post-retirement. Like this is what he went and did after.
Yeah. He's like, I couldn't handle special victims anymore, so I moved on to bank robbery. I feel like that's honestly the exact same thought I had, so I'm glad that we are thinking the same thing. I think that's what everyone's... You can't play a cop without anybody thinking he's Elliot Stabler. Like...
Yeah, the very first shot they show of him like walking and like buttoning his jacket or whatever, you're like, that's Elliot Stabler.
I was like, oh, Elliot.
That is straight up
Stabler. So anyway.
And I'm fine with it.
Yeah, and Dave Bautista plays also an FBI agent.
Who is huge also, by the way. He's like sitting at a desk and it looks like a toy. It's like a gorilla sitting at a desk.
It's like a baby desk. I'm like, how does he even type with his hands?
Yeah, I just want to see him at the computer just like bing, 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 bing. Ridiculous.
And so I'm not sure exactly how him and Christopher Maloney are working together, if they're partner. Right. And I'm not even really sure if Maloney is a cop or a FBI agent, like a policeman.
I don't know.
Anyway, so the part...
You have to explain it to me.
Yeah, and so kind of what seems to be happening is there's these bank robberies, and so what you get through the trailer is that the bank robberies are kind of a front for something. So it's the bank robbers are like giving the money away, and you're like, okay, they're trying to lead these investigators to something bigger, as some kind of bigger fraud or embezzlement or something happening at the top with Bruce Willis's character, who's clearly seemingly the bad guy.
Because he says something like, how often does a big bank manager guy or whatever actually come to his branches? And he's there too much. Yeah,
something. And so it's something similar to that where it's like it seems that whatever the initial crime is that's being investigated is just kind of a front for some kind of bigger conspiracy behind the scenes. And it looks a little generic. It's one of those ones where I'm like, if it's on Netflix, I'll probably watch it. As much as I love Bruce Willis and Christopher Maloney, and I keep wanting to call him Drax, even though I know that's not his real name, or Dave Bautista, I'm just kind of like,
it is what it is. It's kind of like your generic sort of heisty, twisty. Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, I can see myself being bored in the middle of the day one day and actually going to the movies to see it, but it isn't one that I'd necessarily run out and be like, I have to see this.
Right.
But it looks entertaining enough. Like, I feel like I would go see it and I'd come out and be like, yeah, I didn't waste my time.
Yeah. Yeah. So check it out. Marauders is the name of that one.
Yes, it'll be linked to on the blog.
We'll link to all of these on the blog. And then so I think a couple weeks ago or whenever it was, we were talking about the TV shows that were coming out. And there's the MacGyver reboot with Lucas Till. And he's also going to be in this terrible movie called Monster Trucks. You guys, it's I was waiting for someone to be like, psych, this isn't real. We didn't actually make this movie.
This has been a constant theme. It's like last week with the 9 Lives or whatever it was called trailer, where I was like, this isn't real. When's the punchline?
Yeah.
And this happened, not this movie and another one we'll discuss today had the same effect on me where I'm like, where's the joke?
Yeah. Yeah. So this one is just,
a truck that is also a monster, or there's a monster in the truck?
An alien monster that escapes into his junkyard that he clearly works at, lives at something, and it's kind of like a weird wormy type of alien monster.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon, but
I was
in a
gonna
world.
say that it looks like Corey. We are on the same page. I was like about to say that. That's what it looks like, you guys. And like because they're trying to make him cute. You know, like Toothless was cute and endearing, and you're like, oh, you're so cute. And so that they're trying to make this guy, and he calls him Creech. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like when people say obvi, you know.
I say obvi, okay. But it also it is a little Harry Potter-ish too, because there's the house elf named Creature. So I'm like, come on, you can do better than this.
That's true. So anyway, and so it becomes his friend, and it becomes the motor for his truck, so he doesn't have to put a motor in it. And then the bad guys are trying to find him with the creature, and then he finds out there's 2 others just like him, and so they build these other trucks for them to live in. It's just, I don't understand the weird. But it's also supposed to be like E.T.'s, like, I'm gonna get you home. Like, what is happening?
I'm assuming this is supposed to be a kid's movie, but there's nothing like when you have like Lucas Till as your lead and like generic hot girl as your lead, it seems like it's aiming at at least a teenage audience, but I cannot imagine a teenage audience going to see this movie. So I'm just like, what is happening here?
I almost stopped the trailer. It was so terrible. And that was only 2 minutes long, you guys.
I think I figured it out. I figured out how we make our fortune. We write stupid kids movies because they will make anything.
That's true.
Between that Kevin Spacey cat movie and the monster truck, we could be making bank ridiculous films for an unknown target audience of amorphous children stare at a television no matter what is on it.
I mean, just like, God,
it's bonkers. I don't get it, Hollywood. That's what I'm saying. Also, Lucas Till is like the male Margot Robbie for me. I just don't. Well, except that I think Margot Robbie's actually a good actress. So Lucas Till is just boring. I just saw X-Men Apocalypse, and
he's the worst.
Just watching him is just like watching paint dry, and it's like they're gonna put him in MacGyver and they're putting him in this monster thing, and I'm just like, I don't want to see him in anything.
The only thing I want to see him in is, I'll tell you the one thing I want to see him in. Can I tell you? He was excellent in that Taylor Swift music video, You Belong to Me. He was just phenomenal. He was great.
That's a while ago, huh?
That was the one that she won the award for, that Kanye got up and was like, no.
So that was ages ago.
Yeah, it was a long time
Wasn't that
ago.
6-7 years ago or something like that?
Oh, yeah. It was 4 albums ago for her. It was back when she was doing...
She was still country.
Yeah.
I did not know he was in that music video. So he's been around a minute.
Oh, yeah. Well, and he was in the Hannah Montana movie.
Oh, I still haven't seen that. Yeah.
Come on, Corrigan, get it together. You should watch it. It's just
a sore subject for me. It is, but because the kids that I nannied for went and saw it without me.
That's rude. I'll watch it.
And then I was left to be like, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. It was just I was left to be like, now am I going to go see the Hannah Montana movie by myself as a 23-year-old woman?
No.
People are going to be hiding. They're going to report me to the front of the desk of the movie theater. There's no way she's up to anything good being in this movie.
Yeah. I hired kids to go with me. I didn't hire them. I took my friend's kids. I was like, do you guys want to see this? And my friend was like, please take them. Oh God, I don't want to go. That's awesome. High School Musical.
That was, yeah.
So.
Well, High School Musical 3, Emily and I definitely full on actually went ourselves, but at least there were two of us, so it seemed less weird. Like maybe we were gonna go like make fun of it or something. Yeah. When really we were just into it.
Really excited. Yeah. But anyway, so this weird movie, we're not sure, but even more mind-boggling than this movie was this other movie that I found today. I was on IMDb just randomly. I was on the front page, called Yoga Hosers. And if you think that's nonsensical, you would be correct. I don't even know what it's supposed to mean. And it's the...
If you've ever seen, what's the Great White North one? Strange Brew. Like, hosers is supposed to be like the Canadian insult.
Oh.
Hosers, that's what they always say.
Oh, like a poser, but a hoser?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know what the etymology.
I mean, it makes sense because this movie is supposed to be in Canada, and they're like really pushing the Canada. They say,
but with no Canadians in it. No Canadians in it whatsoever. And it's like
when they do those Egypt movies with no black people.
Right. Yeah.
It's not, but it's
the same thing. Cultural appropriation of Canada. Canada's just like, eh.
Oh, that's so funny. I like that a lot.
I don't think Canadians care. They're like, oh, it's okay. You can have it. Don't worry about it.
Did you see that? The John Oliver did this like short segment of when Justin Trudeau elbowed that MP or something in the and he apologized like 15 times about it, and he's like, oh, don't worry, he apologized again for it. And it's like his honeymoon is over. Everybody loved him, but now everyone hates him because he accidentally elbowed this lady. It's hysterical. You should really watch it. He's
murdered someone.
Yeah, he basically sliced that woman's throat. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But this movie is apparently in the same universe as the movie Tusk. It's made by Kevin Smith. There was no way I was going to see Tusk because it looked gory and ridiculous, but it starred Justin Long. So this movie will have all of the characters from Tusk, as well as starring Lily Rose Depp, Johnny Depp's daughter, and Smith, which is Kevin Smith's daughter. And they seem charming enough. I thought Lily Rose Depp was Anna Sophia Robb the entire trailer. Until I Googled it and I was like, oh no, that's not okay.
Who that is.
That's a different human. Yeah. But this film is basically like that there are Bratzies, which are bratwurst Nazis, and these girls are trying to defeat the Bratzies.
Yeah.
So stupid that it's it's not funny stupid. It's just straight up where you're like, this is something that your 12-year-old brother makes with his friends when he gets his first cell phone and realizes he can make videos. Whoa, wouldn't it be funny if there were Nazi hot dogs and
it was what? I guess what the thing was, it was on the main page of IMDb. This is usually
because it's Kevin Smith
that you find after you've watched a spiral of weird trailers on Lifetime, and this one pops up, and you're like, oh yeah, this one too. That's when you watch this trailer. Mm-hmm. That's not what happened here. And you guys, it is just so weird and terrible, so terrible. And they do yoga, and they do warrior. They're like, oh, they'll do yoga to defeat these Bratzies.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
And it's everyone makes fun of them because they wear yoga pants and they do yoga because they don't you do that in Canada or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess not. I don't know. It's the dumbest. And I was reading the Rotten Tomatoes page about this. It has a 25% rating on it. And one of the things that I thought was the perfect comment on it was they were like, the thing is, this is the kind of movie where people are going to be able to defend it by when people say it's not a good movie, they're going to say, well, Kevin Smith didn't mean to make a good movie, and it's yeah, but this is you'd have to be on a lot of drugs.
And also, I don't think that's not how's that a defense? He didn't mean to make a good movie, so he also agrees this movie is crap. That's what you're telling me. So
like,
why
I
are
think
you
can kind of like you can kind of do that with like genre movies. Like nobody is going to argue that Sharknado is intended to be a good movie, right? But it's good at what it does. Most important. If a movie is not a good movie and it's also not good at being a bad movie, straight up bad movie. You know,
I mean, the fact that like at least Sharknado had the wherewithal to be on Sci-Fi,
right,
or whatever.
They're
whereas like this is like
this on us.
Force this on the masses, or maybe they're just going to release it in Canada. And you know what? You cannot make a Canadian movie without Alex Johnson.
That is not where I thought that was going, but I like it and I agree with it wholeheartedly. Where is Alex Johnson? If Alex Johnson signed on, I would be like, okay. But
yeah, I'll watch it.
Oh, no yoga hosers. You have given us no Alex Johnson. You have given us no Rosone. You have given us nothing.
You've given us nothing.
Okay.
You've given us
and
no,
like the part.
You've given us no. I almost called him Questlove. That's not what his name is.
Tommy Q.
No,
you mean
no.
Quest?
Just Quest. Yeah, just Quest.
Here's my and like the other thing is like I just don't like. I can't imagine sitting through a movie where the entire thing people do bad Canadian accents.
Like it's really like, bad. It's like they're not even. It's kind of like when Kevin Costner doesn't try to be British, and you're like, dude, you're supposed to be Robin Hood.
Like you're not.
Like you can't even. It's oh my god.
It's like, and like I'm sure that's supposed to be the joke or whatever. Is like, oh, it's funny that they can't do Canadian accents or whatever. But like sitting through an entire movie of that sounds exhausting.
Well, just the 25 seconds of them saying, like, sorry about that, sorry about to like everybody.
Yeah, sorry about like, that. You're like, oh. That's not how Canadians say about. It sounds more like a boat than a boot anyway. Watch some Are You Afraid of the Dark and then get back to me. Good grief. I can't. No, Kevin Smith. No. I say nay.
9.
Yes. 9. That's so 9. It's almost 10.
Oh, that's when I almost turned it off. I can't believe that. That was the point when I was like, nope. Exit.
No. Nope. Hulk smash.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Not here for it.
On a better note, we did get an additional international trailer for Ghostbusters.
We did.
Which looks it's still delightful. It had a lot of the same stuff that your other ones do. But had a couple of new little scenes, which was fun.
That was in it that looks familiar was also from watching the featurette that we watched, the Kevin featurette. Because like some of those little like scenes and things I think came up in that and not in the other trailers.
Okay.
And so I think there's a lot of stuff that will be new if you're not like us and just obsessively watching every Ghostbusters thing.
What do you mean? It's not weird, right?
But there are a few new shots and stuff in it. I laughed really hard at Leslie Jones responding to the like
the mannequin.
What is like a mannequin or whatever in it. Coming after her.
She's gonna be so gold. Oh gosh, she's gonna be so good.
And I feel like each one of them. Although there's not really a lot of Kate McKinnon in this, but the other ones got like a moment to really like
shine
and nail a line in this. Really. Yes.
I still loved it when she goes to turn on the machine and they shoot and nothing happens and she goes like, ooh, good.
Ooh.
Like, even just that little part, I was like, there she is. I thought that was really funny. So
the timing seems great, and every time I like every time they show us a little more of the ghosts and villains and things like that, and I always love every shot that they give me of the baddies in it, and so I feel great about. Also, I like that it has like it's like got like Chinese writing over, or was it Japanese?
I don't know.
There's some sort of I'm not great at recognizing the characters of other languages. I apologize, but There's some sort of captioning over it. And then the only thing they say out loud is just when Ghostbusters comes up in like some form of Asian accent, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like as if like that was going to clarify.
Right. What was happening. Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't just subtitle that one. They needed someone to say Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, right.
Oh, right. That's what this is. Okay.
I know what movie this is. Okay, good.
Tracking. Yeah.
Yeah. That was, yeah. I find it delightful. It's a short trailer. It's like a little over a minute, this one, but it gives you plenty to be excited about if you're not determined to be a hater. Of course, it's got like 7 times the dislikes that it has likes, but that's going to be the case with everything.
But we don't care. So
we're going to spend our money on it, and lots of other people are going to spend their money on it too. So have fun disliking YouTube videos, folks. That's what gets you going.
No one cares.
Yeah. Nobody cares. It's Cry Me a River. Justin Timberlake.
Oh, Justin. Cry me a river.
Cry me.
Oh, that was the best part of the whole freaking
thing.
Oh, so good.
So yeah, that's
it.
Can I just tell you just now, I want to just make sure that there wasn't anyone talking to me. And I got Jurassic Park fanatics invited you to like their page.
Hey, yeah, they did. Wow.
Target audience.
That's a very elite group. Did you see that video? Yeah, I'm sure you did. So I'll just talk about it. The video that someone made of like, this is what we were all thinking when we saw this video. And you were like, what? And it was the like Sam Neill standing up and, you know, the whole thing from Jurassic Park. And then it was that giant crocodile.
Which I hadn't seen the crocodile or alligator or whatever it was before. No, so I didn't know where the video was going. I was like, what are we going to see here?
Well, I actually didn't either because it didn't say. It just said when we saw that video. And so I was like, okay. So then I watched it and then I was like, yeah, that's exactly what it was. Like, so funny. So
that
funny.
Alligator is... saw another video of it shortly thereafter, just like walking around. I'm like, that is a full-on dinosaur. Yeah. Also, can I just tell you another thing on the note of dinosaurs before we go? Someone posted this video yesterday, and I'd seen it before, but every time it caused me pause. And this time I Googled it. There's a video, pelican eating a pigeon. Have you seen this?
No.
Right. So that sounds wrong on every level. So there's like all these kids watching like these pelicans. It's in London at some like royal park thing or whatever. So these pelicans are like mostly domesticated. And as they're watching and feeding it bread and everything, all of a sudden this pelican just whips around and takes a pigeon into its mouth. Right. And so like, it's the pigeon's like flapping around. You can see it. It's trying to like swallow it and all that kind of stuff. And like at one point it like kind of comes back up and you can see the wings popping out of this thing's mouth. And I'm like, that is a pterodactyl. That is absolutely a dinosaur right there. So then this led me, I was like, I Googled, is it normal for pelicans to eat other birds?
Yeah.
Naturally. And I came upon this list that was like the 6 asshole birds. And it was like this list of like bird assholes that like do terrible things. And the pelican was only like number 4 or something like that out of the 6. Like there were like 3 bigger asshole birds than the pelican.
Was emu number 1? Because those ones are
emus weren't even on it. They don't even register. Yeah, right. Those things freaking attack people, and they did not register on this list. The thing about pelicans is when they eat something, they don't have teeth. Yeah. So they just die a slow, painful death in the like stomach acid and whatever else is in there. So like sometimes the birds will like scoop up some water to drown the thing that's in their mouth or stuff like that. So like this pigeon in this video, it was in the Cracked article. Like apparently people watched it. It took 20 minutes before this thing like was like done. You know, you're like, dude, bro, that's crazy. But amongst the other was I think it was called the golden eagle. And what those do is they just swoop in, grab something, lift it a bajillion feet in the air, and just drop it. And so like they like they pick up like goats and stuff like that and just splatter them. You're like, are you serious? And another one, this little bird, just a little guy, looks like a cute little thing. What they do is they pick up their prey, carry it to something, and impale it on like thorns or on branches or whatever they have. And then they bring the female to like their nest and they show them the corpses of their prey. And the woman decides whether they are fresh and big enough. So like they'll have impaled like bugs and other birds and stuff like that. And if they're not like cool enough, well, the chick will leave.
So it's basically the equivalent of when ladies write to serial killers in prison.
Basically, yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Gross.
Oh, and there was another video on there of the pelicans again.
Stop.
And they were... No, but it was like they're dinosaurs. I'm fascinated by it. There was just like a whole bunch of baby ducks, like a bunch of them on a beach, and then all these pelicans just like nom, 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 just like picking them up, eating them. No recourse from the ducks. So, in conclusion,
gross. Well, that's it, you guys.
You wanna wrap us up?
On that note, good Lord. On that note,
I like to keep it light.
If you love to hear about disgusting birds that murder people and are possibly sadistic serial killers, you would please rate and review us on iTunes. Make sure you follow us on Stitcher and SoundCloud, and you can find us on the YouTubes. You can find the blog will be posted on electricfeast.com. Be sure to follow us on Twitter.
Also pretty soon in the next Bond movie.
And yes, and also in the next Bond movie. I'm very excited. Juliet and Judith Bond reporting for duty. And so then we will, I've lost my train of thought. Oh, Twitter, Facebook, our Instagram now that we have, which is also awesome. So make sure you guys follow us on all those. And like we said, rate and review us. We would love to have more people come and hang out as well. And if you've got any thoughts, we love to hear from you. So give us a shout on any of those avenues. We would love to chat with you. So for this week, I'm Kristen Latterell.
I'm Corrigan Vaughn.
And we will see you next time. Take it easy, kids.
Bye, everybody.